I would say that like half our grade vapes.
Unfortunately, a lot of kids that I know vape, and I think that it's terrible, and I don't blame them, but I think that vape companies should be sued for all their worth. They're very clearly marketing to children.
Juul really markets to teenagers. Like, what adult is using like Tutti Frutti? What adult is using mango? No adult is using that.
Kids do believe that vaping is less harmful from smoking because they haven't grown up hearing about all the dangers of vaping as they have about cigarettes.
I think a lot of kids our age think that smoking cigarettes is like the worst thing that you can do, and juuling isn't that bad, but then cigarettes is whoa.
I think that 35% of the kids in our grade vape openly and talk about them vaping. But I think another 15% vape and don't talk about them vaping.
I would say a lot of my friends have probably tried vaping, but they don't vape like all the time.
Cigarettes have always, unfortunately, been attractive, and this is kind of like a new age, sleeker version of a cigarette.
I think the way that kids learn about vaping is other kids, because other kids are like, oh, try vaping, it's good for you, you won't get hurt, it's perfect. It's the new big thing. I'm like, oh, it is, I'll totally do it.
I feel like a lot of kids learn about vaping from ads because there are ads for e-cigarettes and vape pods everywhere. It's on taxis and in magazines.
Cigarettes are a lot more harmful, and people know that they're a lot more harmful, so they have a bunch of chemicals in them and tar and so the thing with juuling is people know that it's harmful, but they don't know what way it's harmful in. So I feel like that kind of ambiguity makes them think that it's safe.
I'd say it's pretty easy to buy a Juul considering the number of kids who vape.
Near my school, there's this little bodega that sells Juuls, and I think some kids in my grade buy them from there.
Technically there is an age limit, but I'm not sure it's very strictly enforced in all places. I think that kids can definitely get vape pens through older friends or older siblings.
Kids definitely sell vape pens at school. My friend once asked me that if I wanted to buy Juul from her other friends.
How much are they selling for in school?
No, I actually have no idea.
I have no idea.
I've heard that they're pretty expensive, $50, $60 maybe.
I definitely have seen people post videos of them either smoking or vaping on Instagram.
I've seen vaping trick videos of people blowing rings, making cool shapes.
Our school has one stairwell that's kind of inhabited, and everyone always goes there to vape.
School bathroom stalls, at home, and with their friends.
There definitely have been people in our grade who have gotten caught for vaping. There have been varying consequences. Kids who've been suspended. The level of awareness definitely varies between teacher to teacher. They don't know how much serious of a problem it is a lot of the time. But I do think that they know that it's happening.
A lot of teachers do really try to sort of educate kids about vaping and try to get them to stop or not to start. But I think it's hard to sort of control so many kids.
Even when kids have gotten caught vaping, it hasn't really stopped them because they don't really register that it's bad for you.
I see a lot of anti-vaping ads. There's this really funny one where there's this puppet, and they're all puppets, and it's one guy's vaping is actually better for you, and then it's ah, and the puppet just keeps interrupting him.
Vaping is safer than
There's also this one where it's more sort of informative. It just sort of tells you about the effects that vaping has on your brain and on your growth.
Scientists say it can change your brain. It can release dangerous chemicals like formaldehyde into your bloodstream.
These ads are super scary. They frighten me. They're I'm oh.
Those ads do make me not want to vape more than I even already do, because I don't really want to vape ever, but that's wow, it can actually hurt you really badly.
I heard that a boy died from vaping.
Did that scare you guys?
Yeah.
Even though that's really, really drastic, I don't think that's enough to stop most people.
For something which is supposed to help people stop smoking, it's actually doing some really negative stuff.
I definitely hear people talking about like Juul a lot. I feel like the words have kind of become interchangeable because like it's become such a big brand. It's kind of become a known fact that like a lot of kids are doing that and they don't really seem to have a problem with it because it's making them money.
I definitely think the responsibility of vaping lies with Juul. The Juul company has to be aware of that and try to change that. I think the responsibility lies with teachers as well, who should talk to kids about vaping instead of sort of scaring kids from it, about it. The best way to make a decision about something is to learn more about it.
Juul has like a responsibility to address the problem and try solving it. The company would be the people who have like the most impact on these people's lives.
The more people that do it, it becomes even cooler. I don't really understand why it's so great. I think probably because it's incredibly addictive and there's a lot of nicotine in there, and so you don't maybe think it's so great at first, but if you keep doing it, you're gonna get addicted.